Hi, Josh First here at the Valken Debrief, episode 17. I am joined by Eric Random Kruger from DMZ Airsoft. He'll be joining us today. Bob is on the road. You might notice that there's kaiju sightings going all up and down the East Coast this week. Be sure to tune in. He's going live and doing unboxings and stuff like that. But we're here at the beautiful Colorado Ranch. First off, we're going to follow up with last week's winner of our Zulu glove giveaway, and our winner is Martin Dulligan from Ireland. So Martin, if you're watching, be sure and hit us up and we'll get your preferred color and sizing. Now for events this weekend and where some of our athletes are this week. On, let's see, the 2nd and 3rd, Bobby Wolves, Tap Airsoft, Kaiju and the Kaiju are going to be at Altair Training Solutions in Immokalee, Florida. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. For Doomsday Airsoft's Overwatch 4. To the north, our Canadian brothers, the Direwolves Airsoft team, will be at the Northern Simulated Training Systems in Georgetown, Ontario, attending a CQB seminar. Always a mouthful with those training centers. And last but not least, Les Trooper will be at Wildlands Airsoft Park in Lake Elsinore, California. Now, for our special guest joining us today will be PNW Punk from the Pacific Northwest. What's up, Punk?
What's going on, man?
Oh, you know same day, different stuff. So you know Eric. So we've had some good times here in Colorado at DMZ. So no introductions needed there.
You gotta come back soon.
Oh man, dude, I was just sewing one of my new vests, and the little bumblebee from that bar that we went to, I put it on there as a permanent thing because that was such an awesome time.
Which one was that? Which trip was that?
That was the one that I came over.
Oh, when you came to Colorado Springs here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was good times. Lots of fun with. So for those of you who don't know, in addition to owning the only indoor CQB field in Colorado Springs, Eric has kind of been the resident night vision expert here in Colorado. He set myself up with a pretty good pair of PVS 14s and usually helps some guys out from time to time, repairing, fixing.
I take care of people.
Yeah, it takes care of people. Takes care of good buddies. And so we got to mess around one night, Punk, and your sponsor, I'm drawing a blank here.
Thunderkiss.
Yeah, Thunderkiss.
Yep.
Charlie and Bill from Thunderkiss, we all came out and had some good times.
Good guys.
That was a lot of fun.
That was like getting to play in there and use the NVGs and getting to play with your guys' community was a lot of fun. I had a great time.
Always good times to be had. All right. See some of we've got the comments and people joining. Let's see what we got here. Hello, Gino. Gino's always watching. Lots of supports, lots of hearts and thumbs up. And be sure, if you're watching, be sure to hit that share and subscribe button, and we can get some other viewers here to participate in the topics today. If you're just now joining us, we have our guest, PNW Punk, Eric Kruger from the DMZ, and of course everybody knows the most interesting man in Airsoft, and Bob is on his road trip. All right, so for our first topic, we want to talk about you, Punk. I know how much you love talking about yourself.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
So usually, I mean, you know how it goes. Like when we have a guest, we like to get. I know the answers to these. Eric might, but some of the viewers, just kind of get them, more acquainted with you. Get to know you like we know you. Usually, the first question is pretty generic. What got you into airsoft?
So what got me into airsoft was a bunch of friends from a auto dealership that I used to work at would go through one hobby after another, was like miniature racing cars, and it was then they got into airsoft, and they were like, "Oh, dude, you'll love it. It's not like all the other fad things that we were getting in and out of." And I went out for the first time, and it was behind a mobile park out in the middle of where I live, the town I live in, and like that was the beginning of everything. And that was about 10 or 11 years ago.
Oh, wow. One of those ones part of the Decade Club.
Yeah. But definitely 10 years.
It's kind of like a lot of us who started, 8 or more years ago, started playing in someone's backyard or having for, bid when we didn't know any better, the neighborhood, back when everybody was kind of cool with that. Let's see here.
Back when Marui was all there was.
Charlie's here. Speaking of Thunderkiss, Charlie's here checking in.
What's up, Charlie?
Josh the Master, is that one of your buddies up in the Northwest?
Lemaster, no, man, he's down in where is I'm drawing a blank as to like where he lives at exactly. He was talking about maybe coming up here, but Josh, yeah, he's a good dude.
Javier Franco, I've known Punk since I broke his cell phone. No regrets.
No, okay. So about that, he was at a local event that was held by a friend of mine, Rob Lester, and he had brought a Team Wendy helmet. And he was still doing like a blog or a video blog. I can't remember. I think it's This Week in Airsoft. And after the game, it was pouring rain, and like we were talking, and he does this thing with his hands, and he just kind of does this and knocks my phone out of my hands into a puddle. I
was feel so bad.
But it's been one of those things that's kind of held our friendship together.
Just like the story I always tell of poor Rich from C3. I'm just completely blowing him off. but it's a fun story to tell, and you know that you're going to have that person as a friend for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, Javi and I go back.
He has a beautiful Southern accent. I guess Rad Plastic. I guess Kyle's referring to Javier, maybe? Story never dies.
So I wouldn't necessarily call his accent stuff.
Tell Eric he needs to loosen up here. He's kind of just like real rigid. It's like casual here. Just don't hit the table a lot.
I'll try not
Showing
to.
off his Team Windy and his PVS 23s.
15s. 23s are at home.
If I could rock the PVSs, I would.
And now everybody's into the white phosphorus tubes. And I just didn't keep up with everything. That stuff's amazing.
The migraine machines.
So what was your first Milsim event? Like your first real Milsim event?
My first real Milsim event, I would have to say it was probably Copperhead 2.5 was like my first major like national Milsim where I actually got to travel and take all my gear. Like we did, Conflicts 2 2 years ago, but my gun went down and I wasn't able to play, but Copperhead 2.5 was the first one that I got to go and play with. Aside from one of Dave Bax's games in California, Hill 559, I think that was...
Was that the one where you have like the picture of you like screaming and pointing at people on the hill?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
I always wanted to go to 559. It looks like a really interesting AO. Kind of spread open and rolling hills, but
That AO is nothing but a Stairmaster from hell. Your thighs and your glutes will be amazing afterwards, and
that's why Dave's legs look like that.
No, yeah,
Clay, good buddy of ours, Clay.
Clay's
Clayton,
on?
yeah, Clayton Dotlich is on.
Oh man,
he's talking about the time I face planted in my Team Windy. This is true. I went to an event once with real plates in and jumped out of a moving vehicle and all that extra weight and forward momentum.
You weren't was Brendan,
I slid into cover. It was epic.
Was Brendan driving?
Yes, Brendan was driving.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Uprising 2. That was the game. Thanks, Tiffany. No, she said it was Uprising 2. Yeah, that was the one. That was a very memorable game. So I take that back. It wasn't Copperhead 2.5. It was Uprising 2.
Uprising 2. Okay. All right. He wants you to spepe up. The producer's yelling at him.
Sorry.
Trying to get the live thing. He's doing the Ricky
for me
Bobby.
To
I haven't done one of these live ones yet. All kinds of shows, but not a live one.
Okay, this is one that a few close friends might know. What got you into graphic design?
Graphic design has been something that I've been toying with like I've always been, into art and drawing, and I got into video editing like high school. So that's 14 years ago.
Oh,
And
back when computers were still primitive little machines.
dude, I learned how to edit video like with VHS tapes and like the
Wow.
dude,
Stop.
that's I know the shit, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Did you catch that one? Is the FCC gonna come down on us for that one?
Yeah, can we swear? Because I'm kind of
No, you can't.
I'm a little worried about that.
well, I'm sorry.
It's roundabout. You're fine. It's just we try and keep it to a minimum, like that PG-13 rating.
Don't you have a
usually
guy
what we
hitting
aim
like
for.
the little beep button? Shouldn't that be a thing?
Well, I mean, we're already taxing our producer. He's like running. He's got
Mason
3
should have
screens
that.
open. You can see it right there.
Nation should have that little button.
And he wants to put a 4th in front of us so we can see our live reactions. I mean, the guy just never quits.
Nah.
Graphic design wise, it was just another medium that I got to try and play with and use Photoshop. And like, as a competitive market as graphic design is, like, that's kind of where art eventually goes in a professional manner, or so that's kind of where it led me. But it's been kind of an off and on thing for years and years.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know I've participated in some of your limited edition shirts, a couple of runs of those, the patches.
Yeah.
You did the artwork for one or two big events, I think.
Yeah. So this shirt that I actually I'm rocking right now, this one was done by Cody Saya. He and I went back and forth, and he was the one that came, he drew it and vectorized it and made it so it was available for me to use in apparel. The other ones, like the stick punk and the black spot, those were mine. And yeah, it's just coming up with just interesting ways to, rehash the same thing.
Cody's Rad Buddha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done a
It's-
lot of artwork for several airsoft. I think he's done. He did Wicked Wear. He did
Yep.
P90 Girl. I
And
think
that's
he
where
did.
that's how he and I got acquainted was through Wicked Wear and Sean Morrison.
Yeah, Sean Morrison's a good dude.
Morrison.
Yeah.
You know Sean.
Yeah, I know Sean. I know Sean.
So I guess like one of the things you kind of like touched on. A lot of people don't understand like in apparel. I've kind of had to become familiar with this working in Valken is digitizing and vectorizing an image for apparel, laser engraving, embroidery. It's kind of a big deal. Like digitizing, it usually comes with a pretty hefty price per art piece.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you just draw it up and put it in a PNG and, maybe with a little bit of Photoshop or Illustrator skills, you'll get it done. But it's actually a lot of companies still outsource digitizing and vectorizing. So
Yeah, it's a
just for people to, when they buy your apparel, like there's love and there's skill that goes into it. I think a lot of people don't emphasize that enough.
Hours of manipulating too.
Yeah, hours of
Like
tweaking, you're not
going
happy
back
with
and
it.
forth, trying to get everything perfect.
and back to the apparel thing, it's not necessarily a venture for me to kind of be like, oh, check me out, this is my, but it's just it's a way to kind of, I don't know if giving back to the people who support me is the way to do it, because they are paying me, but like it helps me continue to travel and it helps me continue to do these things. And another reason why, I do it the way I do is because I don't have a lot of money and I don't like having to sit on inventory. So I do pre-orders. So that means like if I do anything through Who Shot First with patches, that takes time. Or if I do things with shirts, I have to get a minimum order of X amount or more. And then I send it to it because it's a local company and it's screen printed and everything's hand done. There's no digital print. There's none of that stuff. So that way you're getting the best quality. It just takes a lot longer to get.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I want to say thank you to everybody who has purchased, Eric, everybody who has purchased something, because
How about a shirt?
yeah, absolutely. And, everybody's patience is really key. And it's thank you guys, because it really takes a lot of that stress off of my shoulders.
It's actually amazing how many people in the airsoft community support each other and network without even being big celebrities. I mean, I personally think there's too much value placed on the celebrities. The little guys, I think, are more important, and there's more flavor to them.
Well, you
and
need
they're
to
a
have
little more
something to
defined.
offer too, because I've seen some little guys that do their little things. And
Well, I'm talking guys like Punk that have
Yeah.
their own style that nobody else has done. That's different.
It's
That doesn't taste like everybody else.
it's like that grunge style, grunge.
This is more like the end of the world.
End of the world, post-apocalyptic,
Yeah. Very much.
dystopian. That's the word. I know we've talked about a couple memorable moments you've had in airsoft, but like, what are like your top memorable events or moments in airsoft?
One of them was from Uprising 2, and so you had Undead Fred, Tiffany, Airsoft Hasmin, their whole crew of friends, and we were up really late, and we saw flares go up, and we decided that we were going to investigate what it was. We saw that it was nothing, and we're like, well, hell, like, let's just go all the way to their FOB and see if we can make it. And so we walk a mile, because anybody who's been to Hill 55 Nut knows that it's a trek. So through the darkness of night, we are inebriated. By the way, yeah, don't drink in airsoft. It's not okay.
Drinking is bad.
So
That's how you fall off a cliff in the middle of the night.
That's exactly how you die. So we go, and then we walk right through their FOB, like through their security guard, through everything. Like there was nothing. And they're like, you're not supposed to be here. And I'm like, well, we haven't shot you, so, what do you want to do about it?
Well, it's your fault. You were asleep. That's the thing about a lot of people don't get to experience with extended games is the complacency that happens.
Yeah. And like the nighttime is the right time. The nighttime is when everything happens. So if you're doing like a 24-hour op, or if you're doing like a Milsim West or any other op, they're the one that just comes to mind. But like I know there's a lot of other field or event holders that do 24-hour games, but like everybody knows the nighttime is when it gets weird.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
That's gently putting it. So
Yeah.
I think now we've reached our halfway point. We're going to announce our giveaway for next week, and just so everybody's clear, to be entered into the giveaway, you need to subscribe and also share this video. When you share this live broadcast video, we will randomly pick a winner, and we will announce you next week. This week, we will be giving away a kilo range bag. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, and that'll get you entered in for a chance to win our Valken Tactical Kilo range bag. So,
if you've never had a range bag or a gear bag, after you buy one, you will want one for the rest of your life. Nothing else will do.
I need to get one. Like my
bug
biggest
out bag.
I always made fun of people with those bags, and then I was wrong.
But and then now I'm like, I need a range bag. Like I'm using a Army issued duffel bag, and it's just not cutting it.
not enough compartments.
And
There's not enough
if you stuff anything that's rigid inside them, when it bends, it breaks whatever's in there. Range bags are the way to go.
Yeah, it's just that it's an investment. So
I'm kind of like, I got my Gucci gear, so I've got my Titan 2, and I got one of those. I broke down and bought one of those salient gun bags because I like the Velcro stuff.
So expensive.
And, I got those Gucci bags.
So expensive.
But I gotta have a place to put my new Chris
LBT
Vector.
drag bag on sale.
So, I love you too, Daniel. I'll see you next month. Well, you're in Vegas. Of course, you'll be there. Can you be my designated driver? Ben. Long time no see, Ben. Oh, Rich from Airsoft C3. Dang, everybody's checking in.
I know, man. We got a full
Range bag
house
of the
here.
coat of my great coat.
We got everybody.
I don't know
Hi,
what that is.
everybody.
Reach!
Hi,
Papa
Ben.
Rich.
Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, so I got to put in another order of patches with Who Shot First, so that I can get another grab bag there at SHOT Show. That was fun last year.
Yeah,
with
the Enola Gay guys. They're cool.
Enola Gay. So, all right, our second topic, which is really Punk's kind of niche in airsoft, sets you apart, is is modifying your gear, or should you leave it vanilla? And I mean, I know what you're going to say, but I think
his gear's almost to the extreme though, a little bit.
Yeah, we got the other extreme here with Eric. He's very much vanilla, but he's a big gear aficionado with Cry and windy. And,
mine's modded to be purpose built too. So,
Yeah.
so
I need to get
putting
'cause, like,
tubes on the $300 Ronin plate carrier. You know?
Eric's got like the Cry hookup, and I've been trying to get a pair of black Cries off of him for a little while because I don't know why I feel like I need it, but I feel like I need it, and he's the person I need to talk to get. So
I have a pair too, and they're your size and everything.
Yeah, modify it all. So what kind of really got you in, I mean, because you modified it to extreme painting, burning, hand stitching. I feel that this came from somewhere else. So, like, you brought this into airsoft. It was already kind of part of your style.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't go far enough to the extreme, so you just kept coming up with new ways to make it even more extreme. And I don't think you're going to stop anytime soon.
No, I'm a huge fan of rat rods. Like, my dad growing up, he was like, "No, man, if you're going to restore a car, you need to, like, it needs to be to, like how it was, kind of like the milsim of car restoration." But I liked rat rods. I thought it was cool to take, a bunch of different, pieces and parts and make it into something. And so going into airsoft, my local shop and my first time sponsor, the one that's been with me the longest, Kitsap Sports in Bremerton, Washington, the GM, Jeremy, we had this idea of taking an AK-47 and then putting the M4 front end conversion kit, the Zombat flash hider front end, the 416C collapsible stock on it, and like it was this weird abomination of pieces and parts that there was nothing like it, and it was so much fun to build something that looked like nothing else that has existed before, and it got me hooked. And ever since, I've been trying to, either be it gear or guns, how to constantly just improve upon design that exists and improve upon functionality. I've got a couple ideas on how to make HPA systems work and without a trigger.
Without a trigger? Like, what do you, shake it at somebody or use it like a gravity hammer? I mean,
I don't really.
Is this going to be your safety?
But yeah. So, and then gear wise, so for the underground event, in Antioch in July, I think it was, I made a piece of kit from it was like a Condor chest rig or something like that, and I made it so it was like an under the shoulder horizontal piece of equipment and had it all sewn together, and it's just, I don't know, I find it fun. It's just another medium of art that I get to mess around with and make something cool.
So basically you take 3 functioning things and make 1 functioning thing out of 3.
Yeah. And then and then after after Kitsap Sports, Thunderkiss, Bill was really kind enough to tell me he wanted to build me a custom, and you guys know which this is. This is the Thunderkiss custom that they built me, and I mean, you guys can see. I mean, this has been in photos, and I'm sure it's made its way around, but it's just a different looking piece of gun, and it's one of my favorites. And
it's very much the Titanfall. I mean, you're very much into the whole Titanfall.
I am a huge fan of Titanfall. I don't hide it.
I did Star-Lord for Halloween, and I've got other projects going on as far as the cosplay this 2018, and I bought a Chris Vector.
Nice.
The new AEG with the full-on intention. It's going to be pretty intensive to do the blaster from the new Deadpool 2, Cable's Chris Vector. And that one's going to be pretty intensive. It looks pretty straightforward, cobbled together with the M1A1 Thompson stock, but there's a lot into it. Looking at it, and it looks heavy too. It actually has 3 rails.
Really heavy.
Yeah, really heavy.
Really
so
heavy.
It'll be fun, especially get that chest rig with a couple HSGI SMG patches.
Chest rig, guys, I'm loving the Spiritus. I didn't bring it up here because I wanted to bring all the stuff that I make and whatever, but the Spiritus chest rig is that's my jam lately. Like, I love that.
I saw the whole, like, they commented and we're doing the little MP5 inserts and they're like, we have them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wait till you come back out to Colorado and try on the Ronin Ale Light.
Yes, Charlie. Yes, Rad. Not tough. It's actually not tough because of the way that the upper is made. Stay tuned. I might do a video on it. I don't know. It's going to be pretty intensive, but yeah, look it up. Look up Josh Brolin's Cable from Deadpool 2, and you'll see a pretty gnarly looking Chris Vector. It's got a grenade launcher and everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I still think Chris's spine plate that he made like a plastic overlaid 3D spine plate. I think that was the best thing I've seen you make yet.
So that is actually a downhill mountain bike like protection, and then
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, and then I got it again. Kitsap Sports in Bremerton. They sold this to me real cheap because it was old as hell. But I basically just took a Dremel tool and drilled out to make it look like bio, or like what is that HR Geiger style?
Biometric.
To make it look more.
Biometric is your fingerprint.
Yeah, biometric.
Bio.
And I want to keep doing that, but
Biomechanical. That's it.
it's hard to do that when you're running an HPA tank, because then you don't see it. It's not incorporated. If you can't use it and it's not visible, then it serves no point or purpose.
You can always look up that new, I think it's Mass, that new stock, that HPA stock from over in Poland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting. A lot of metal.
It
looks like I haven't seen it come
for
apart.
days.
I haven't seen it come apart, but it looked kind of a pain in the butt to change the tank, to be honest. So yeah, how are we doing on time? We're doing all right. Yeah, biomechanical. The tactical mermaid appears. How's it going? Yes, we're all nerds here. We're all talking about nerd stuff: tactical gear, airsoft, movies, cosplay, and customized gear.
Yeah, the problem that I see with gear is that you can't buy one piece of gear that's perfect for it. Just doesn't exist. I don't care who you are, who you think you are.
No, it doesn't. It's so hard to find a piece of gear, and that's another reason why I end up making or taking what I have and then making something else out of it, because what I want doesn't exist.
Well, a lot of guys who invest money in the like the Cry chassis, they claim that they fit perfectly, but I think that's just them reassuring themselves for what they've spent on it. that fits perfectly.
Yeah, even I think the Ronin Ale Light's my favorite plate carrier. It's expensive. It's got all the features I want, but it just didn't fit perfect. So I bought an elastic cummerbund for it, made it fit even better, and I was even happier. And I still didn't like getting in and out of it, so I went and bought First Fierce tubes, and I sewed them right on. Sorry, two lamb. Sorry, I know it's blasphemous, and he thought I was crazy when I did it and told me I shouldn't do it. But I even had to modify it even further to get it where I wanted. I don't think there's one piece of kit made by anybody that you can buy right out the box. It's just perfect for everything. It just doesn't exist. You have to either have multiple pieces or you have to modify your stuff. You have to. And that's what, guys in the Special Forces community and Delta guys and those, all those guys, they've been doing the gear modification for years and years and years because nothing's perfect. It just isn't.
And I guess that's a good closing note. Nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect. No piece of gear is perfect. No gun is perfect.
Nope.
Redefine and make it mine. So.
Yep.
But thank you, Punk, for coming on the show. We were having some technical difficulties, but we got through them and got it figured out. You got to see the behind-the-scenes fire drill that we have to go through, making sure everything works.
Man. Fun, let me tell you.
Let me tell you, everybody, before you tune in, it's like a madhouse, like right before you see what you see, because I'm like swearing into a microphone going, "Why doesn't this work?"
The lights come up and everybody's like, but before it was like, oh my, unplugging and plugging stuff back in.
Mason running around crazy.
Where's my Red Bull? Who touched my Red Bull?
Us running cords to things that don't exist, trying to figure stuff out.
This
was great, let me tell you.
So, in closing, just remember to like, share, subscribe to enter in for that Kilo range bag next week. We'll announce the winner for that. And same time,
needs a range bag.
Everyone needs a range bag.
Everybody.
Just tune in same time next week Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 Mountain, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I have to say that because some people can't subtract. And the Kaiju will return. He will be in his regularly scheduled seat, probably worse for wear after he gets off the road. He's on the road with A-Train this week. So
I'm just keeping it warm for you, brother.
But thank Eric thank you for filling in last minute. So
Thanks for having me, guys.
He just zipped over here. All right.
Good to see you again, Eric.
All right. That does it for the Valken Debrief. See you guys next week.